I grew up in a Christian home. Both my parents loved Jesus. My dad was actually born and raised Jewish. My mom was born and raised Catholic, but
wow.
they ended up finding Jesus together and had about 5 years before I was born to kind of build that foundation of faith together. Wow. So I was born into just a really beautiful Christ-centered home. And my mom would sit down and teach me Bible verses growing up, and just very, very scripture-focused household, which laid an amazing foundation, but ultimately led to me kind of, 13, 14, junior high age, just asking questions and general questions about life, general questions about morality and humanity, and then ultimately general questions about faith and what I actually believed. And is the Bible actually true? And is Jesus actually who he said he is? And kind of led me on this journey of trying to figure out what I actually believed. These are the things my parents told me. I experienced good things there, but do I really believe that? And just kind of did a deep dive, and in a lot of ways was kind of deconstructing my faith before it was kind of the cool thing to do. But really it was a pursuit of truth, and I really wanted to find what was true. I wanted to find purpose in life, like you mentioned, and wanted to figure out what this existence was all about.
Wow. And
so looked a lot of different places. I looked to Eastern religions and philosophies. I looked to just kind of what people around the world were doing and believing. And there's a lot of good ideas out there. And I think I was just sort of trying to cherry pick the best of those ideas to sort of put this way of life together that would put me at peace with myself and the world around me. And the reality is it ultimately led to the dire opposite. I found myself in a very confused, hurting, depressed state, and a pretty low depressed state, and really simultaneously trying to reconcile some hurt and pain from childhood that just didn't make sense. And it was a pretty low. And it was kind of at that lowest point that a youth pastor from the church that I grew up in had invited me to a worship conference.